Well, we're running campaigns that involve, first of all, trying to win the political argument that cuts are not necessary, that the fire service in particular, you can't cut the fire service at the scale that they're talking about and maintain a modern professional fire service. It's going to devastate us. We've already had more than our share of cuts. We've seen jobs go under the last government. This lot are now planning to impose further devastating cutbacks. And we want a genuine, professional, modern fire and rescue service that can deal with the different challenges that we face today.
If you just consider your employment and just consider everything that goes on around your employment, so that's from the very start to the very end, and including when you retire, every single facet of that is going to be affected. So your pay will be affected, and it's been affected as we speak. Terms and conditions of service have been affected, and they've been affected as we speak. Your pensions will be affected. Proposals to increase pension contributions by 3% are in the pipeline. There is absolutely no doubt at all, if we sit back and do nothing, or in fact if we sit back and do very little, these will go forward and you'll be left doing far, far more for far, far less.
The government's agenda is about shifting resources away from the majority to a very tiny minority at the top. So actually, although they talk about cutting taxes, what they talk about is cutting corporation tax and tax for the very rich. We're all going to have tax rises, VAT and so on. We're going to see our health service decimated and privatised. We're going to see education cut back and increasingly privatised. And I think that's coming to the fire and rescue service. You can see that with the likes of ASICO. You know that some politicians would love to be able to privatise our service, and it's absolutely horrific if they get away with it. I don't think they will get away with it, but that's the worst case scenario.
Well, if you think you work hard now, if you think you're poorly done by now, just wait till they got their hands on it. ASICO, someone like that, they'll make you work all the hours God sends, and they would pay you as little as they could. They would certainly try and get rid of the trade union within that organisation, and there'll be far, far fewer of you. Pensions, there'll be a little luxury that you might be able to access at a great expense. I mean, certainly that would be considered to be something that wouldn't be in their plans.
The firefighter pension scheme says that it will be uprated in line with RPI. The government have pushed through, or they're trying to push through, legislation which says that it will be uprated in line with CPI, which is about 1% a year less on average. The problem we've got with that is over a term, that can reduce, even according to Hutton's own figures, it can reduce the value of your pension to a firefighter by about 15% over the next 20 years. So that's a major issue for us as well.
So that's literally thousands and thousands of pounds that this one just index change will mean that firefighters will be losing if we don't fight it.
Yeah, definitely. We have planned for a long-term savings in the firefighters pension scheme. An example we always use is ill health. Ill health used to be a big factor in the cost of the firefighters pension scheme. Ill health in the firefighters pension scheme now is almost non-existent.
So there's already been huge savings.
Massive savings, massive savings.
So therefore you'd say that it's not justified, it's not necessary.
No, this is the most costly to the employee. This is the most costly pension scheme in the public sector.
Most of our members pay currently 11%. Members on the new scheme are paying 8.5%. They're proposing to raise both of those by 3.2% over 3 years. So most members would be paying 14%, some would be paying 11.5%, and actually for middle managers, where they're proposing tiered contributions and higher contributions for higher earners, it could be up to 16 or 17%. And what they're looking at in terms of benefits is moving away from final salary, so 2/3 of your final salary if you've done 30 years, moving towards a career average scheme, which again is designed to hit managers and higher earners, but actually we don't know the details and is likely to affect everyone.
This is a definite sneak tax. People don't realise, but this will reduce the value of your pension over your career and the time you retire by about 15%.
So that's thousands and thousands.
That is thousands and thousands of pounds.
The attacks on our pensions are again part of the government's cuts package. They want to save £2.8 billion across the public sector. We've already had changes to our pension scheme in 2006. The cost of public sector pensions is falling as a share of GDP. So actually there is no pensions crisis, but they want to attack our pensions anyway, and they're going to do it by try to make us work longer, pay more and get less at the end of it. That's their message to firefighters and all public sector workers, and we need to campaign against it. So we want to have a genuine dialogue with the government, put our case and explain why we've got special issues in the fire service about the type of work we do, the fact that you shouldn't be doing that job at the age of 60. We need to win that argument with the public, with politicians, but I also think, it's not something we want to rush into, but members need to discuss on branches that if push comes to shove and they keep pushing ahead with it, that we might need to have to take industrial action.
We've already started campaigning. We've started campaigning by putting in our responses to Hutton. I've personally attended 2 roundtable meetings with Hutton, and we've put our position forward. We've had an interim report on what they're suggesting, and the next report from Hutton is expected to be released as part of the budget. We've got to campaign. There's no two ways about it. We've got to campaign, but we've got to see what we're campaigning against. We've got to see exactly what these benefits amendments are going to be. We don't know what they are yet. What we're trying to do first of all is get a message out to our people that, yeah, let's get organised, let's get ready, because we may be campaigning to maintain the pension scheme we've got.
We can say a lot of things as officials. The problem is that the people who we speak to will only take notice of us if we're backed up by the membership. 45,000 members, and we want every single one of them to get involved, because we are in a fight of our lives. And national officers, EC members, even regional officials are limited in what they can do and what they can produce. When supported though by the members, and they are the people who are the union, then I believe, and we believe, that we can be victorious.
The economic crisis that we've been through was sparked by a deregulated banking sector, and actually the budget deficit, such as it is mainly not as a result of the public sector and the size of the public sector. It's about a collapse in tax income because of the recession. So you can get through the recession and get out of it, then tax income for the government should pick up. What we've seen is an onslaught against public services from this government, absolutely unprecedented. Cuts on this scale we've never seen since the Second World War, and they're going to devastate our public services, including the fire and rescue service, if they get away with it.
Well, we've been left with a coalition government which is now instigating the biggest range of cuts and an austerity programme ever seen in this country. Dismantling of the welfare state, all of public sector services being decimated, no protection at all for frontline services. And this really is the first event, the first time that we've had to publicly demonstrate our anger. And there is only one way to do that, and that is to turn out in numbers. Regionally, running up to March the 26th, we've got many events happening across the country, which we're encouraging our members to attend. But crucially, what we're building for is the demonstration on March the 26th. We're hoping that we're going to get a mass turnout from FBU members, and we're anticipating a really big event. I mean, FBU members in uniform, because it looks really good, and we'll have plenty of flags, t-shirts, etc. But the whole point of the event is it's not just, if you like, firefighters, it's not just nurses, it's not just all public sector workers, it's their families, because they're the ones who are affected. We're hoping as well that community groups, friends who you speak to, involved in public sector, because everybody is affected by this. Everybody accesses at some point or other in their life the welfare state or public services, so everybody needs to get involved.